Hello world. This video is going to be about where is my parents' legitimacy. Pretty sure I'm in San Francisco. Pretty sure that's the Bay of San Francisco. Pretty sure that's downtown San Francisco. Let me tell you what I'm doing. I'm on a waiting list for a permanent bed at the homeless shelter. I'm staying at a hostel and I'm waiting so I can go to the permanent bed. Then I can get mail. Then I can resume trying to have a life, trying to build one. But just want to have a video done right here. This is where I was when I did that smile video, and somebody on YouTube was like, "Oh, you're on drugs." No, I'm not. Okay? No, I'm not. And let's just go over some facts about my parents. Starting with Mom. Mom, where's your legitimacy? You used to be the woman that crossed an ocean to go see the Rolling Stones in Santiago, Chile, in front row. You coming to San Francisco would not be out of the question. You coming to Denver that whole year I was fighting homelessness there would not have been out of the question, because you went to Saudi Arabia and got divorced. Okay? That would make sense for her to come across the country and save her firstborn son. It really would. She could cross an ocean to go see a concert. Tom Acosta, it's your legitimacy. Tom Acosta hasn't been seen in San Francisco since 1989. We came out here and we saw the Redwood Forest, and I had my first memory that he saw an Oakland Raiders game. There's pictures. I don't have them, but there are. I am the family record. I know everything. I'm the engine of this family and the leader of this family. I'm the strongest one left. But let's just go into some things about Tom Acosta. Right here on these steps. To kind of prove and show it's more than just me. It's this entire family has collapsed. That loud truck. Okay. Some first things. He's sleeping with a 7-year-old boy. In 2023, he was. He said, "I'm going to leave you in his cabinet and go sleep with a 7-year-old boy." And the 7-year-old boy is of immigrant, non-English speaking parents, and he blocked me from even trying to speak with the mother. That aside, if you can even put that aside, you can't. But Tom Acosta, before that, when I got into West Virginia in 2023, he said, "Oh, I just don't have a bank account anymore. I just don't have any use for one." Man's 64 years old. He's about to get Social Security. I think he does have a need for a bank account on so many reasons. But that was a clear, distinct, apparent, undeniable red flag. I could not find any proof that he did have a bank account. I couldn't find any bank statements. I couldn't find anything to indicate that he actually still did have a bank account. I looked. He also said the house is for sale. That 6,000 square foot house was Emmy nominated. Well, the house itself wasn't, but the filmmaker who stayed there for free in 2012, who featured Tom Acosta in an Emmy nominated film about poverty, they were Emmy nominated. He did have the 6,000 square foot house. He still had it in 2023. But he says the house is for sale. And in 2019, Penny Adams should remember, me and Tom Acosta wrote a loan. We wrote a grant or an application. We wrote this process for a loan to make the house, to do improvements on it, and so that it would become a rental income vehicle. We were going to, Tom Acosta was aware at some point he was going to pass away, and we were trying to make the house ready so that it could be rented out to people traveling on ATVs, and this was going to be something, a property that me and my brother were going to inherit, And it made a lot of sense. People in their my age and my dad's age, we do this kind of stuff. You know? So we were anticipating getting a loan so we can make improvements to the home so that it could be a better property that people renting ATVs could stay at, and that this was going to bring money into, for me and my brother in the years to come. All that changed. You got to also remember, me and my dad had no contact after January 6, 2021, when he became an insurrectionist at the U.S. Capitol. So there was a long period of about 2 years where me and my dad did not talk. But prior to that, that was the plan. He says, I don't have a bank account. The house is for sale, but the house is for sale with no rush. I asked him, I was like, when is the deadline to sell the house? Most people, when they sell the house, they kind of know the house needs to be sold by this time. Tom Acosta had no deadline and was not concerned. It was almost like someone had already bought the house. There was another man's SUV. My dad has 3 free SUVs. There was another man's SUV in the yard. And he didn't seem concerned about it. The other man's SUV, the other man lives out of state. Certainly seemed to me like that other man was kind of marking his territory, like he wanted the house. The mortgage was all paid up on the 6,000 square foot house with no water that he abandoned me at because he had other properties to live at. Another red flag. My dad is an artist. He always had income went up and down. Okay, he never, even in his most legitimate times, never had the mortgage all caught up. It was never something he could really do. It just wasn't. But this time in 2023, the mortgage is all caught up. I'm in San Francisco, and I'm here for everyone's best personal safety because I was robbed of the ability to keep going back to work and defeat homelessness and offer housing to a homeless U.S. veteran, the man I intended to marry, still intend to marry. Always. As long as there's life and breath for me. I'm 37. I went to college. I interned. I was the WVU project director, awarded for excellence and laid off in the same month. I see these people just live their life. That's all I want to do. But I can't, because of all these haunting questions about my parents all of the time. My mom, she went on a lot of flights. Whether she can remember who I am, whether she can remember who her third husband is, if he's even still alive, nobody can tell me the answers to those questions. But she probably can't remember who her husband is right now. They've been divorced since 1998. They've been on Mars and Venus. So whatever mom's up to, dad doesn't know. Whatever dad's up to, mom has no clue and doesn't care. They're both my parents. They always will be. I have to care about both of them. Whether they're divorced, married to someone else, I still have to care. Okay? And I do. This is an inverted, fucked up situation. What else can I be doing besides waiting for a permanent bed at the homeless shelter and asking 70,000 people on YouTube what the hell is up? They don't know, but now you know a little bit more to the story. It's not just me not being able to get it together. I was actually able to get it together quite well in Denver. But someone chose to sleep not with the married man they're sleeping with, but with someone completely random. It cost me the job. After I'd already transported everything I owned to the job, and already clocked out, not knowing multiple times where it was I'd be staying at. I love, I'm trying, I'm true, and these are questions we need the answers to. Oh yeah, 2 more big red flags. As I was leaving West Virginia, Officer Vineyard of the McDowell County Sheriff's Department told me, "Oh, I'm working for Tom Acosta. West Virginia doesn't have a SeaWorld, and they certainly weren't going to be doing tricks with Shamu. Officer Vineyard was not going to be feeding treats to the whales at the West Virginia SeaWorld because it doesn't exist. Okay? They were up to some shady shit." Another major red flag. Somebody in 2024 called me when I was in Denver thinking I was Tom Acosta on an old Google Voice number we used to use when we worked together back in the day. This person says, "I'm at the governor's house." Governor Jim Justice, the governor that's lost over $500 million of his own money since 2017, since being elected governor. This person is at Governor Jim Justice's property and is like, "How do I get into the house, Tom Acosta?" Thinking I was Tom Acosta. I told them to find a way to just hold on, and hung up. But I never forgot that somebody called me thinking I was my dad, wanting to know how to get in the governor's house. I can share this about my dad and the governor's relationship. It is likely, so you got to remember, in 1997 is when my parents separated. About the only thing good going on, well, there was 2 things. In that late summer of 97, there was only 2 good things going on in my dad's life. Number 1, Princess Diana died, and he knew she was wrong. He was very adamant about that, and he was very like, "I know that I'm right." And he was. She shouldn't have gotten in that vehicle with all that alcohol. But number 2, the second really actual good thing going on in my dad's life at that time, my dad got into the Greenbrier Resort to sell art. He got into a prestigious art gallery with a prestigious clientele, and he was going to be able to sell art as he was getting divorced. But it was a positive thing. I don't know if Governor Jim Justice owned the Greenbrier at that time. I really just don't know. But it's likely that he did, or it's likely that he was very much in that circle and would end up owning it. But the thing is my dad and Governor Jim Justice have had a relationship, probably going back almost 30 years. And it probably started out somewhat normal. But somewhere along the way, some really, really snaky, no good shit has likely happened. That's all I can say. But that's what you should know about my dad and Governor Jim Justice. Although, I could also tell you, in 2018, me and my dad were putting a sign up on the side of the road. And Governor Jim Justice he comes up real fast. And he's like, "Tom, come here. I outran my security detail." And then I'm there, and then he takes a picture with my phone of me and Dad putting the sign up. But he probably wanted, and now Dad also told me that Governor Jim Justice had done that multiple times. My dad had been working on the side of the road, and Governor Jim Justice had drove up without his security detail, because he's the governor, he needs Secret Service. He had drove up and left them in the dust because he probably wanted to talk to my dad without them there. I do know that, and that was back in 2018. But here I am, trying to survive in San Francisco with all this on my head. What prompted this video? I was in the bathroom at the hostel, and they've got tonight's whatever night it is, and they were like, "Tonight at 7:30, just meet down in the lobby, and we'll go solve crimes and have a night with other people at other hostels. It's a BYOB, and it's like a whodunit thing at the bar, or the pub, or whatever." And I'm like, these college kids are gonna solve crimes, but like, this is my life. So you need to know what's going on. Why not? Use all the help I can get. If you can help, please do.